a starched uniform, fresh out of the backwoods police academy to do a job the CIA had trained him once upon a time to do far better.
"So you think this plan will work?"
Javier asked.
"You got a better one?"
He shoved Rachel's picture under the other man's nose.
"Look at her. She's a schoolteacher. She looks sweet, for fuck's sake. I can't stand here with my thumb up my ass and let this nut job put a hole in her head."
Studying the picture, Javier sipped his tonic water. After a couple of years of supposedly being cozier with vodka than sanity, sobriety now suited him.
"Of course not. I'm just saying that if she's recently divorced, she might not appreciate you romancing her for ulterior motives. What my brother means is that in a few short months of marriage to London, we've learned how quickly our lovely bride can hand us our balls when we've screwed up." Xander smiled. "He's thinking that you'd probably like to keep yours attached to your body." "Exactly."
Javier grinned.
"I can't tell her the truth,"
Decker argued.
"Why would she believe a total stranger trying to convince her that someone's put a price on her head? Besides the 25 grand and the phone number this guy gave me, all I've got is her picture and some basic information I could have pulled off the internet. None of that proves anything. If she actually does believe me, I'd probably scare the hell out of her."
He tossed his hands up.
"This asshole gave me a few days to finish the job, and I'll just make the problem go away by then. Even if Rachel isn't thrilled with my method, she'll be alive."
He peered deeper into the club, ignoring the come-ons of a few girls who didn't look old enough to even be here, wearing skirts so short he could almost tell if the carpet matched the drapes. Finally, the crowd parted, and he spotted his target near the wall, just as he'd predicted. Rachel. White wine in hand. Long hair like a chocolate waterfall. Pretty profile, thick lashes, button nose. Full lips that would look perfect, wrapped around his cock. Damn it. He wanted to get her naked. What a shame that wasn't his first priority with her, but he hoped he could find a way to make it a close second. She smiled as a tall African-American woman beside her whispered in her ear. Then suddenly, Rachel whipped her gaze around and met his stare. Her little rosy mouth opened with a gasp. Even through the smoke and over the racket of the bad country singer on the stage across the room, he could all but hear the sound. Yeah, he felt the electric zing, too. Up his spine and clear down to his toes. It engorged his cock so completely he wanted to rip off that god-awful sensible blouse she wore, tear away her panties, and fuck her breathless in the next 30 seconds. Normally, he would. But this situation meant he had to use the head up north. At least a little. And didn't that just piss him off? How fucking ironic that he couldn't pick her up just for the fun of it. No, he had to get close to keep her alive. Honestly, Decker didn't like lying to her either. The hell of it was, he couldn't think of another way to protect the woman he'd been hired to kill. Rachel Linden fixed her gaze across the room at the man staring her way, standing between the two suits. Her jaw dropped before she forcibly snapped it shut. Holy cow. Between the alcohol and the press of bodies, she was overheated. But he made her shiver. Military short black hair capped off his angled face, covered by a healthy 2 days' growth of beard. His eyes remained hidden behind a pair of aviators that rested on top of chiseled cheekbones. His black shirt nearly busted at the shoulder seams. Under the short sleeves, his biceps bulged. The soft cotton clung to every valley and ridge of his pectorals and abdominals. He was a man with a capital M, the sort who made a woman swallow her tongue, the kind her mother had warned her about, the type who'd starred in her fantasies, and the one she wanted sliding against her skin to skin now. Dark and bad, yes, but those big hands and muscled forearms alone said he'd be oh so good. Just looking at him, Rachel had trouble breathing. Every inch of him was hard. If she'd had a fantasy in the flesh, he'd be it. A tattoo, Asian writing maybe, drifted down his veined forearm. Dog tags hung from his neck.